What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we are all about uncovering the mindset journey. Oh, yeah, got that swag right there. We are episode number 9, y'all. Episode number 9, getting into those double digits. I'm your co-host, Bro Rhy, with my boy, Raymond Jones, and we are here for y'all. And we just want to say thank y'all, first and foremost, for everyone that's been rocking with us. And if this is your first time checking out the episode, we are here documenting a 52-week coaching program under the leadership, under the mentorship, under the brotherhood, under everything ET, hip-hop preachers all about, Dr. Eric Thomas. So you are catching everything in real time. What's up, Ray? What's popping with you, my bro?
What's up, man? We're just getting back, man. We might have to start doing this during the day so I can sit outside and keep the aesthetics low because we stepped the bar up when we went to Mexico and had some of them backdrops, bro. And you said the Double R podcast and our coach and mentor. Remember, his name is now E Results. He is the third R, and he said E Results. Eric E Results.
Eric, he sure did, man. The three amigos. Oh yeah, and just for those who may not know what we're talking about, Ray and I and a bunch of other phenomenal human beings just got back from Phenomenal Life 2023, which is where the swagoo that I got is on right now, and Ray got his Road to Results podcast shirt as well. Because guess what, I'm Rhy, that's Ray, that's Ray, that's Rhy. Either way you slice the pie. But so we are coming off just an amazing week. And you saw that episode. That episode is a bonus episode in our Phenomenal Life 2023 playlist. So I'll be sure to put a card up top if you didn't see that video, but we'll be putting that there. So Ray, bro, where do you want to start, man? I mean, like, there's a lot I want to dive into, a lot I want to share. I want to share results, bro. I do want to share results because this is all about the road to results. But I definitely want to talk about kind of now the kind of after effect of the conference too a little bit. So I'm gonna take you, bro,
So
wherever you want to go.
yeah, man. So the and I didn't even jump on it because, man, I'm sorry, I was enjoying paradise, but the coaching call, the spiritual coaching call for that Monday night when we first everybody got there, he talked about Jesus, and he had his 12 disciples. He had his people. He had his people in his community, like, you need community. And I mean, that couldn't have been more of a perfect message for where we were at, man. Because I know we had our own. Everybody went there with their own type of goals and their own focus of what they wanted to get out of it, whether it's just some uplifting, just some direction, guidance, whatever. But I think for you and I both, we just kind of really wanted to embrace the community. And man, the amount of support and love that we got, not just from our community, but from our coaches, like. I don't know how lightly people took it that we had the opportunity to actually sit down and talk with E, sit down and talk with CJ, sit down and talk with Carl, sit down and talk with Jamal, sit down and talk with Anthony Flynn, sit down and talk to Brandon Burns, sit down and talk to some of our family in the community with Yoli and
Hey,
Jocelyn,
CJ,
just
bro,
like
we got CJ.
bruh, I mean, CJ, he don't need no credit, man. But yeah, it's just the willingness to sit there and
Yeah,
communicate with us. People asking us, hey, we rocking the shirts rolling around, like, hey, what's that? And we just let them know it's part of the mastermind, and them asking about it. Um, man, yeah, what that means to us, I mean, it's not hype, man. It's literally confirmation that we are on the right path. We're on the right road. But we're also in the right community. Like, our
come on,
12, our
talk
people
about
that are here, man. It's just so, and we just saw, we got love from Farrah in our accountability
it.
and coaching group, like,
Shout out to Farrah
sharing that
Collins.
love, that high P Farrah Collins, like, um,
Look,
giving us
Farrah.
that love, like it's not hype, it's encouragement,
Oh yeah, for sure.
because this is just a way to give back. We said in the beginning, this is a testimony to give back to the community, to give back to what, ETA has provided us in our own journey to get to this point. And man, it's just, that couldn't have been a better word to start that week off.
Oh
It
yeah.
couldn't have been a word, better encouragement. Again, like we've been saying, man, confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. Yo, this is supposed to happen.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
right
no,
here.
definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
Rhy and Ray.
Rhy and Ray, Double R podcast, uncovering the mindset journey. Yeah, so what Ray is referring to is that we were watching a video in our in our Telegram group that's specifically for the mastermind. So Farrah was the most recent one sharing some love. But shout out to again, Guy, Sadie, Josh Jones, Travis Brock, Tanisha, Jocelyn, Yoli, who else?
Cedric.
Cedric, yeah, off top. Oh, we got to give love to Randy and Jessica. So many people in our community in this first cohort, generation one. I call us the first batch, the first generation. Has been all of your words is encouragement. Everyone that's been dropping a lot of love in the YouTube channel in the comments. So if you drop in love, just know like that's part of the fuel, right? It's part of the fuel that definitely keeps us going. And I know for me, going into Phenomenal Life 2023 as a second time around last year, like I shared with people, Danielle and I came for the first time. We kind of played small, played in the back. And then, it was different, right? It was a larger group and we didn't really know anyone. I mean, like Danielle said, she's like, the only person I knew was Ray. Like you were like the only person that she legit actually talked to and got to know out of the whole conference last year. Like you were the one that she talked to the most. But she said this year, and her and I were talking about it, she's just like, it was different this year. It was more intimate. She felt like the conversations she was having weren't they weren't superficial. Like she was giving a lot of love to Pastor Tyus's wife, V. Is it
Yeah.
Valissa? I think it is.
Valessa.
Valessa, yeah, they were like chopping it
Yeah.
up, and like she's coming to me with like, oh, she was talking to this person, that person, Candace Quinney, Cam, like, okay, and I was proud that, or not proud, but I was just happy that she was able to meet the community while me and you were running and gunning, while me and you were out there chasing down these interviews, making space. I mean, let's be real. What was that first call? Here's my experience, y'all. So it's first session, day one session. And a group of us, because we're building community, we're like, hey, let's go have lunch. So we're gonna go eat near the pool. And so it's me and Ray, we're getting our food, and here's Ray. Hey, bruh, he just hit me. I'm like, all right, okay. What'd he say? He said, go to the chapel right now. You know where the chapel's at? And I was like, the chapel? Because I knew where the chapel. I spent time in the chapel. So I was like, the chapel? He's like, yeah, you know where that's at? I was like, yeah. I think it's all the way up top, bro. He's like, yeah, he said go right now. So literally, bro, I had my steak and all. I ordered my steak to get cooked. I said, hey,
Hey,
we
Rhy,
got to go.
Rhy was hesitant. He was hungry. He was hungry. Hey, so was I though. I was like, he said, right now, right now, right now. Like, yeah, like right now, right now.
Right now. So we
Uh,
literally dropped everything and went and it was remember we were just walking up and he was like, bro, you sure this is it? I'm like, yo, this is the only chapel I know because we went up so many steps, bro. And yeah, so we caught that interview and again, just to share with our audience, like when you have an opportunity, and this is I'm just gonna land a plane on this piece. When you have the opportunity and you're in the building, you're in the room, you're at the conference, take advantage not of the people, right? Not of the people. And that's one thing I love. Like I didn't never feel like any of at ET's conferences anyways where I'm feeling sold, like I'm getting sold something. Right. All the speakers that were there could have easily had a booth, could have easily sold some merch, right? Everyone there has a business, a nonprofit. But we really were networking with people to get to know who they were as people first and foremost and what good they're doing to the world. And everyone was like, well, if there's any way I could help, any way I could support, right? It wasn't, it just hit so different. So all this to say is that when we're with E and having the opportunity to get to know him more, to get to pick his brain more, to just be curious and ask questions. Like I said, I went from fan to fam, right? From fanboy to family. And that's all because we were in the space. And big shout out to Ray, because Ray was a big part of getting me and Danielle there flat out. So, again, the experience was definitely one of the best as a couple. And the relationships that we left with that we're going to continue to nurture and grow. That's what it's about right there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, nah, man. I mean, I don't really have a whole bunch to say about that. It's just. I mean, part of it, coming back to this being a testimony to the UOU Mastermind group and program that ETA is offering. You owe it to yourself to get into the room, not just with high profile individuals, but everybody else that's in the community. And one of the ones I want to post is like you posted in the Facebook group You know, happy birthday to our
George,
boy George. Yeah,
Terrence
little
Yolis,
George.
oldies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just being able to celebrate someone's child, and I had the opportunity to sit down because he was hanging out with my niece while we were there. Um, but just to sit down and talk to him because he was talking about college next year, and this being a growth year, and me asking and digging, okay, what does that look like for you? As I, full transparency, Terrence had mentioned, in one of the groups, just that disconnect. And I think that's with every parent. Every parent has that disconnect with their kid when they get to a certain age. But when you surround yourself with a community of people that will see that and that will pour into them for you and intercede for you. Like I probably held that boy. He came by, sat down, we were eating dinner. I held that boy there probably a good 20 minutes longer than he wanted, but I made sure he got my point. Made sure that he understood that if he's gonna use it as a growth theory, bro, you better be in a completely different space, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, by the
yeah,
time you continue your journey. So it's not just about getting with high profile individuals and overall like the whole squad are very impactful and they're deep individuals. They have a lot of depth and life to them. But when you're in a community of people that literally just want to see you win, they want to see you grow and they care about you and your family, like that, I don't care what the price tag is.
yeah, yeah.
And
Nah,
if you
for real.
question it, get in it, because that's what you're paying for.
Yeah,
There's people here that we can connect with for. Yeah, I told Yoli and Justin, you stuck with me for you stuck with me until you blocked me. You blocked
yeah.
me. I know you live in Cali. It ain't that
San
big of a state.
Diego. Yeah, yeah. No, it was crazy because I remember I saw George when we saw George. I had to take a pic of him and his sister walking around. Said happy birthday, and then I just posted it in our private group, right? So it's not like I was putting anybody's kids out on blast or nothing like that. And then I hit up T after. I hit Terrence up after. I was like, "Yo, my bad. You know what? Was it cool that I even posted, George on there?" And then he was like, "Absolutely." And then all of a sudden, I see my mom like the photo I was tagged in on Facebook. And then Terrence screenshotted my post saying, "Hey, if you see this young man, let's give him some birthday love." Da 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 da. And Terrence was like, "This is what I love about the community." He actually posted in Facebook a screenshot of what I posted, showing like how much love we got for his children. And just to
Yeah,
wrap that piece up, he said he was at the airport sitting him and Yolanda and the kids right next to Dee Dee and E at the airport. And
yeah,
then it was cute because his daughter was like, "Yo, I want a picture with E," and so of course she got E loves a kid, so they took they took a picture together, and then he gave George like you did, just a little one on one, man to man
yeah,
at the airport, bro. Like
yeah,
that's what this community is about. So again, you're gonna hear it over and over again how much support, genuine, authentic love we are getting out of and pouring in to this community. So road to results, bro. Let's, if we could, if you're open, just share a couple results because I know that people who are watching this pod are like, okay, y'all hitting us with the the authentic relationships. Y'all hitting us with the community aspect, which again is the foundation, is the glue, like we said in one of the pods. But results wise, I just wanted to share like we're using a system that's tracking down like our to-dos and our rocks, priorities, and all those things. And so I'll say one of the priorities that I had was in my 90 days was to have 15 booked gigs in that first quarter. So since February 1st, it was like didn't mean it had to happen in the quarter, but I just needed 15 paid booked gigs, like just to start. Now Danielle, of course, and I'm probably sure you probably say the same thing. That's a low number, right? But Danielle's like 15. That's it. but to date, so what is
Don't
it?
be judging my pilot, sister.
I know, man. May
You know
8th.
we want the impossible things. We want with
I
15,
know.
bro. You should have said 50. You
I
should have said
know.
50.
So
Two
right
a
now
day.
it's at this. So at 60 was it May 8th, May 9th, or May 9th, right? So I still June 30th is the end of this quarter for for what the way we're using it because we started about a month or two after. But yeah, man, your boys at 16 right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna up that number, so the results are there. The other types of results that I've been getting, because again, I'm positioning our self-awareness toward a flight assessment. And now that I've getting more clarity on how I'm going to position that tool, the results that have been coming from that have been like more one-on-ones, and then I actually have three group um orientations or coaching programs that I'm going to be doing. One in Las Vegas, that one I was talking about the other day. So there's a group of 25 youth ministers or youth leaders in Las Vegas. The other one is actually the one I was telling you about yesterday, this morning in the call. I read the inquiry form, bro. 6 schools, staff for 6 schools. They want a
Okay.
retreat and they want the assessment.
Okay.
So that's, I
Do you
mean,
need an assistant hype man? You me come out
bro,
there and yell at them kids?
bro, no, these are the staff. These are adults. So I'm working
Oh,
with,
yeah.
yeah, these are all adults, bro. So these are the adults, and they're gonna. So part of my packaging, the way what I've been learning in the mastermind, how to like vertically integrate. So I either work with the kids, and then I offer the adult package, or I take the adult package and then offer the kids package. So yeah. So when we talk about results, like whatever your industry is in, this is the group that's gonna push you across the finish line. See Principal Charles this morning. He said,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
"We'll push you. We can't pull y'all. We can't drag y'all because you're too heavy, but we can push you." And
Say,
so,
we'll hold your hand, but we ain't gonna drag you.
so yeah. So those, in terms of results for me in the, again, speaking, consulting, training space. In the last 2 months, I've been in Denver. I'll be in Miami next month. I'll be in LA. I'll be in LA. Where else? Of Cali, today running Cali. So just saying, like, my fire that's lit was like, this is stuff that I've been doing, but now it's like we're going 10x because of
Oh,
you.
yeah. Absolutely. 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 Um, I mean, you said it was a low number. I just had on my board I was gonna do 5 this year. I got none. I mean, part of it is I haven't really been pursuing that piece of it. Just launching the coaching and consulting company, picking up more there. But I think a part of that, I'm gonna go back to that message, and not just from the message, but just from the conference Salesforce takeaway. Because for me, we talked about it, during our live recording there. Um, I think it's just been more confirmation, but talking about, okay, what you let in your ear gate, what you let in your eye gate, those things. But okay, like what do you let in like your community gate? Like what are you letting into your community? Because that's what's gonna push you and encourage you and let you know, yeah, it's supposed to be hard. Like it's hard, but it's not complicated. And if you just focus your efforts and you focus your energy, like you're gonna get the results that you want. So instead of using this, well, I got this going on, and I got that, like this person got in my way. Like we use the excuses of a lot of times we use the excuses of our community as to why we can't accomplish something. But you forget, you are in charge of who you let into your community, who you let into your relationship, whether it's business, platonic, romantic. Like that is your responsibility. Okay, you owe you a better relationship with I don't care who it is. Like you owe yourself that. And as long as you begin to do that, your environment will start to impact that. So if you want to have these results where you're starting to 10x, like you got to be it. And I'm not saying that don't use me and Rhy as an excuse that we're in this mastermind group because we took it upon ourselves to put ourselves in that position to do so. But we also stopped doing the things that in our lives that were not serving us or were serving us, but in a negative way. Like it was a parasite to our lives that was taking more than it was giving. But we were giving so much energy to a parasite and wondering why we were sick, wondering why we weren't getting the things that we wanted, wondering why the relationships that we had weren't lasting, wondering why, like just all those things. And it's nobody else's responsibility but that. So when you think about your community, take a catalog of who is there, and if they're not feeding you, they gotta go. They got to go because these results. Attention. One, I want to do outside because the aesthetics when we recorded in Mexico were just amazing, and inside just gets annoying me now. And two, I feel like we started to increase the quality, and I haven't soundproofed my office yet. We're still working. Ray's still working. This is the road to results. We're gonna uncover both the ugly, the good, the bad, the in between. So I got a camera inbound. We finally got a mic, but we still got to get you some aesthetics on the background. And this is my piece. Like this area is my piece. Like pool, the sounds, the birds, just
Our
the
vibe.
wind.
Our
Like
vibe.
this is my piece, but this is also a result of what I've been letting into my ear gate, what I've been letting into my heart, what I've been letting into my mind, and the conversations I've been having over the past few years.
Come on.
And it
Talk.
surprises a lot of people that I didn't start doing this till about 3.5 years ago. I didn't find ETA until August of 2019.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to say, and I don't remember who it may have been Quest who said it, but you know, don't overestimate what you can do in a year, but don't underestimate what you can do in 5.
come on.
Like we put
Talk
too
that
much
talk.
weight on ourselves to get the results right now, to get that when we talk about those microwave results, when it's that crock pot, it's that slow cook, it's that flavor, it's that
Yeah.
tenderness, that little pressure that we need over a lengthy period of time that's going to give us the results and the desired intake that we want to reflect this.
Mm, mm,
Like
mm.
like so when we say community, when we say protect your ear gate, your eye gate, your heart, your emotion, whatever it is, when you do that and you realize that you're in control of all of that, it's just different.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
different.
All right. I'm gonna piggyback off that and share with y'all a conversation that Danielle and I had after one of the sessions, and it was about eargate. It was about surrounding yourselves and just shutting everyone out that's not on the same page with you, that's not in alignment with you. And we were just talking about how none of this has to do with, whether you love each other or not. And we were talking about that middle class mindset, right? And so something that she shared with me again in our conversation, because after every session, it's like, all right, let's check in. What resonated with you, what didn't, or
Hold
whatever.
up, hold up. Ryan was trying to hit everybody. He's all in the field. So what was your takeaway?
Hey, come
So what
on.
was your takeaway?
Hey,
I
flight
was like,
attendant,
hey,
baby.
that's our flight attendant. Flight attendant trying to engage.
We
I
was
was
at
like,
dinner.
hey,
I was like, hey, what's up, y'all? Let's get around the table because we just look for full transparency. Like, we just our first time having dinner with Monica and the rest of the crew. So I was like, yo, let's round robin this sucker and let's see what we could do. But no, we was having this conversation, man, and she came to me with like, I love the people in my life. I love my circle, but I know that right now in this season, I'm not going to get where I want to get to with that circle. And I was like, okay, well, I was like, hold up, let's break this down, right? And she was just like, not, and it's not because I love them, I don't love them, they don't love me, or they don't support me, or I don't support them. But she's like, the vision that I have for our life, the vision that I have for my life, every single time, like, or when I think about the conversations and I think about just the interactions, which again, they're not bad, but they're not helping her grow. So I said, okay, so what you gonna do? And so she's like, well, I'm in a new community out here in South Carolina with all of her real estate folks. And I guess she's mentioned, you and her have been having conversations about different, potential opportunities together. So she's like, I just need to keep doing more of that. I just need to continue to
oh, it's
be
not potential. It's gonna happen.
in that zone. And she was just saying like she had a real, and I said, well, how do you feel about, that? And she goes, it saddens me a little bit because I would love to be able to have these conversations. I mean, like mutual conversations with, her inner circle, like the ones that she was having with a bunch of folks at the conference. But she's like, but I also understand it's not anyone's fault. It's not anyone's problem either. She's like,
Yeah.
we're just and then she was like this, yo, she pulled the ET. She was like, we're just wired differently. And then in one of the Facebook lives, she was like, and you know what? And I said, so what do you want to tell people that are back home or that are watching this video? She's like, I'm trying to be part of the 1% club. And if you know my wife, like she is not boastful. She ain't flashy. Status is not, she don't care about status. She works in silence and just lets her results be. But one of the things that, again, just part of my takeaway from what you were just sharing was like, all right, so to our listeners, those who rock with us, like who's in your ear that's actually making you second guess your gift? Who's in your ear that's actually, making you think twice about whether or not you should do that, what's on your heart, or just something that that you're great at, or who are the people in your life that are that dead weight? right? And again, who's pushing you up and who's pushing you down or who's pushing you back. And so I think really one of the things from the conference experience is that you're with a lot of people who only want to continue to genuinely raise everyone up, to take people from all walks of life and not have that. So yeah, so for all of our folks there that are just watching this video right now, take that inventory. What's coming in your ear, like Ray said, like we talk about that ear again. What's coming in, because you can control what you listen to and what you don't. You can control where the environments you put yourself in or not. You can control the podcast you listen, the music you listen to. You control the TV you watch, everything that you take in. Is it helping? Is it, bringing life into you, or is it taking life out of you? And so phenomenal. I'm rocking
Yep.
this shirt. Like, is what we said, let's make phenomenal the new normal. And what
Yeah.
would that life look like? And so there's this, Jamal, he'd be like, psh, visualize, vision, big vision picture. So I'm like, yeah, that was something deep for Danielle to, like, not just recognize it, because I'm sure she's recognized it already, but the fact that she was able to communicate that with me in a very humble way. Again, not taking away any of our friends or family or her inner circle, because those are her go-to girls. I'm not taking that, but like when she started seeing what else she wants for her life, what she wants for our life, and as she's taking this new chapter, she was like, man, that sucks. That's what she's like. But oh well, what can I do? Right? Like that was her mindset towards it.
Nah, that I mean, what one y'all know my boy Rhy is he's an emotional, he's a lover. This dude called, he said remove that dead weight. Remove that dead weight. And that's real though. Like it's not, I don't want y'all to take that the wrong way as far as like thinking that people are useless, but if they're not moving the needle in the direction of where you want your life to go, where you know that you, like in your heart of hearts, you know that that's what's for you, then I mean, the hardest way to pick up a person is when they are just dead weight. They're not helping you. They're just laying there. And if they are doing this in your life and you're trying to carry them to that mountaintop that you're trying to get to, yeah, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder. And I don't care if you carrying them, if you dragging them, if you pulling them, if you trying to push them, whatever it is, they have to be willing to get there. And as you continue to, like I said, if you want more, you have to prepare for more. You got to do the prep work, because as you become more, you can give more. So when we talk about your cup flowing over, what is flowing over from your cup? And if you have a bunch of people that are just taking and you have nothing else to give because you're focused on trying to bring them with you, it'll never happen. But if you just continue to pour into your cup and you continue to grow and you continue to become more, you become a demonstration. You become an example. You become the blueprint. You become the generational curse breaker. You become that change in other people's life that they needed to see because they don't believe it's possible. So stop worrying about everybody else and continue to pour into yourself. And it's not selfish. It's the only way to give more to those ones that you love. It's the only way to love them right.
Facts. And you know what? Thanks for catching that, bro. And I wasn't really necessarily meaning like everybody is dead weight.
They all dead weight. They all gotta go.
No, but you know what I'm saying? And I mean dead weight as in the activities you have. You know what I'm saying? The things you do, the way you spend your time could be also considered dead weight. But yes, I do believe there are people who could be, in that category as well when it comes to really taking it to the next level. So full transparency. Thanks for catching that and just, really clarifying that. Because again, we love all of our peoples, but we also understand that we're all not going to the same places like that. I mean, and then I think the other piece I wanted to share that you talked about was like before all of this, we were putting in work. Right. I think you said people will see this pod and be like, oh, well, that's because they're doing it big because they had this, that. No, well, prior to the mastermind, we were in different programs, and prior to the programs, we were still moving. I mean, I've been speaking since 2014. I left my full-time hospital job in 2015. I've been a was it W-9? Is that what it is? 1099 or whatever,
W9.
W-9.
W9 miscellaneous.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on my own, sole prop to LLC for the last 9 years. So it's not even like, oh, we just got in the mastermind. All of a sudden, like we blowing up. But what I did learn was not having the community, not doing it together. I love E's last video, right? The guru video, the last one on Monday was like, we got to go from me to we. Can't be on this I stuff. We got to be on this
Yeah,
we stuff. What can
yeah,
we do together? What can we get together? But so many people's focused on one, just on themselves,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's where I feel like that's just a transition now that we're going into is going from I to me and or me to we.
yeah. Yep, yep. And I mean, he said it. He said it best on one of our special episodes. But make the adjustments. And you don't even have to go back and look like Rhy said in 2014, or me falling into the group and or coming across them in 2019. A few years, but just go back and look at. I mean, our first few episodes. We're not that far in. Like you said, we're going into the double digits. Next week we'll be hitting 10. But just those adjustments in that, me not having the greatest of audio, not having the greatest of video, and I'm outside, so I just get a little bit of aesthetics to kind of mask that, but also show you some of the results I've gotten. But the progression through that, and just letting you know, like it's not always perfect. We had some audio issues because I bought the wrong mic. So now we got the right mic and we got the audio corrected. But getting a label, getting a name to it, the road to results, something that actually meant something to us, not just clever because R&R like Rhy and Ray, but like, yo, we really want to show you like this is the road that we're taking to get results. And it
Tell
is
them
a
about the door too.
journey.
Tell them about the door too, because you brought that up. That was dope in our logo.
Oh, I don't even remember. This is me being a pilot. I don't even remember. Hey,
If you see the
once it's
logo,
once it's once it's delivered.
once it's delivered, he on
so,
to the next. He's on to the next. That is true
I'm
pilot.
like, yeah. Once I got results, man, I'm on to the next.
No,
It's just
you
like,
said
yeah,
you said, and because we were playing around with the design, the logo again, and you said, yeah, double R rows of results, and then we said, what side do you want this like shape to be, this rectangle, and then you're like, we picked a side, and you're like, oh, that's like walking in new doors.
yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and that's
yeah.
the idea. You got to walk into new doors. You got to open them. You got to walk into them. Or if an opportunity comes, like walk through the door, and then this is double R rows of results, walking through that door,
So
man.
so let me just let me just
Origin
explain
stories.
something to y'all. So origin stories are where the logo came from, but not just so even that. So we talked about your ear gate, eye gate, heart gate, all that stuff. Your community. Eventually, you become that. You become the community of things. So I just want y'all to know. A lot of times I'll go back, Rhy, he'll edit, try to clean up my trash audio as much as possible. Tell Ray, hey, you need to sit higher, sit lower, move. I'm just okay, whatever. Like, and then he does what he does and uploads them and corrects as much as he can. But what we were just talking about before the podcast, like we were like because of what Farrah posted, I was like, what podcast she talking about? He's like, I think the most recent one. So I'll go back and listen once he lets me know it's up and live. I'll go back and listen to it, and half the time I'm like, yo, I said that? Yo, Rhy, you said that? Hey!
Yeah.
Because we literally become that conversation. That's who we are. So when we say things, it's not so deep and tied to our hearts and tied to our, because that is who we
It's
are.
it's a spirit too. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah,
really,
it's the spirit.
spirit
Yeah,
moves
it's
for
call it cognitive flow, but like the spirit moving through is
divine.
we were having lunch a few times. We were in the pool talking. You'd be like, "Yo, this needs to be a podcast. This needs to be a podcast," because that's just our conversation all the time. And it's not like we sitting here nerding out over stuff. Like
That
we still having a good time.
that's it.
Like out here swimming the lagoon, our little life jackets.
Hey,
Rise over here chasing little crabs on the wall. Like,
hey, I was talking about the assessment too. Remember, I was talking to Francisco and Christina about the assessment because they were like, "Hey, can you tell us a little bit about?" Da, da, da. But yeah, no, and I think that's the one thing, right? The chemistry, and that was the other piece that we talked about in one of the pods was the four C's: character and chemistry, the first two, and that was in the last
yeah,
episode. And what Anthony Flynn was saying. And so it has to really, you have to be with the folks who have good character, who you have a good chemistry with, whether you do business with them specifically or whether they're in your community. I think that's
yeah,
really the key there. And just to drop one nugget, because I want to make sure before we wrap this thing up, we give one nugget from our business development class yesterday, Anthony Flynn. And it's the only note that I'm sharing, y'all. So, like Ray said, we don't really be coming like following these points. We freestyle all the way up until we want to make sure we say one thing. To quote one of our leaders here, one of our coaches, But he said, because there was a question around like Anthony Flynn was like, so you are you a 3-figure business right now? Are you a 4-figure? If you're 4, you go to 5. If you're 5, you go to 6, 7. On and on and on and on. And mind you, this is coming from a 7, 8-figure business owner. And so people were asking, well, how do you know like how much to charge or when to move on to the next? And this is the one nugget I want to share with y'all, which I was like, oh, so good. And people were referencing because like, when they charge, how much do they know how much to charge and when not to charge, all those kinds of questions. And he said, when you plateau, flip the switch to learning. All right. When you plateau, flip the switch to learning, meaning when you're providing a service, for example, and you've come to the plateau where you're at your ceiling where you don't think you can add that much more value, which means you can't charge for more, flip the switch to learning.
Yeah.
Go into learning mode and then apply. And then he was there and then repeat that. Go as high as you can go. And when you get to that plateau, flip it again to learning again. And he talked about some of the stories where he was just paying to go listen and, with billionaires and just listening to them. Wasn't trying to sell them, wasn't trying to, get their business or have contracts. He was like, that one cat he was talking about in Cali, or maybe it was, he was like, I flew from Texas to Cali for 2 days. 80-year-old man, billionaire, listening, just to listen, just to be
Yeah.
a student. And then I took what I learned, started applying it little by little, and then eventually it formed into a professional relationship. But his whole point was like, yo, when you are at a certain level and you're plateauing, flip the switch, learn and listen. What adjustments do I got to make? Listen to who's in the room. Listen to the people who are doing what you're doing or what you're not doing. Learn, then apply. Like you always say,
Yep.
learn then
Yep.
apply. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that was
Hey,
a little
that's
nugget.
that's nah, man. That's hold on. Don't breeze past that real quick. I know we got to cut it here in a minute. But that's the blueprint. That's a blueprint. And I don't care what you're doing. Don't use Mr. Amazing CEO Anthony Flynn. So if you want to find him on socials, Anthony Flynn with 2 N's underscore AC for
Yeah.
Amazing CEO. You can find him there. But that is the blueprint. So don't just consume the information. So again, look at podcasts, YouTube, what you're doing with us. Don't just go with us, grow with us. Apply
Yeah.
the information. So once you apply that information, you become valuable yourself. And when you become valuable yourself, people will pay you for your value. And once you plateau at what you're being paid for, learn again. Part of that, though, is getting in the room and getting in a community of other people that are outperforming you, not because you're in competition, because you know they're at a value that you want to be. It's the blueprint. It's the blueprint. It's not as difficult as we want to make it to be. Listen to the things that are in alignment with what you said you want for yourself in your life. It is that simple. Listen, apply, receive, level up, listen, apply, receive, level up. When I say receive, it's reciprocal because you're also going to be giving it out. We're giving this out. But as we continue to give this out, we level up personally and professionally. That allows us to increase our value. So people be calling me, man. They didn't understand I'm
Come
working.
on, dropping
Stop
the
calling me.
word, bro. So
Stop
I
calling
was
me.
transitioning into into final thoughts, and also y'all see on the screen here, I got my little road here. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know if y'all feeling that road or not. Oh, this dude dipped out on me. This guy. So as you can see, number 2 is not there. He's missing. But you see my little road graphic. Let me know if you're feeling that or not feeling that. Oh, look at that. I'm out now too. Like he's trying to come back in. Bruh, you done is you right when I was giving you the final word, you wanted to dip out. But it's cool. This is
Guess who's back? Did you stop
he wanted
recording?
to. No, we're still good. What
Okay.
dang, yo,
Guess
did you
who's
see that?
back?
He put me on like, oh, my boy's gone, I'm out. Nah, I was just talking
I'm
about my
out.
little I was talking about my little graphic to let us know in the comments. Keep the graphic. Hey, and again, I'm a high flight attendant. I'm all about my feelings, but what I've learned and the muscle I'm growing is being able to really take that feedback with no emotion. So if you're liking the road that goes up in between the screen here, let me know. Let us know. Or if I try something different, because again, we're all about yeah, all about just making those adjustments. So, yo, Ray, final thoughts, final words. I know you just dropped a word on us, but do you have any final words before we cut this pod?
Any final four, final seven, final eight?
You know,
Hey, you want the results? Hey, it's there. Yes, sir. We mentioned in the group, like, if you want it, go ask for it, go take it. And we'll just real quick. And this even happens between Ryan and I. Like, and I love that. You know, he just like, okay, okay, you said we'll roll with it. Um, it really was. We had mentioned about a week and a half before going to the conference that we were going to interview E, and it was just on my heart. And I'm gonna say it was the spirit. I stopped what I was doing. I texted Ryan. I was like, "Yo, we gonna interview E at the conference." And Ryan, hey yo, as always, man, he's like, "Hey, we gonna pray on it. We gonna pray on it." And
That's right.
in my head, I was like, what you praying for? Like, we already got the answer. We doing it. But when we got there, same thing. I was like, right, bro, we gonna interview everybody. Everybody. We gonna interview them all. And he's like, what's the schedule gonna look like? And we need that. Like, we need that piece, but there's a certain time where if the opportunity is there,
Oh yeah.
yo, go for it. Like, just go for it. Like, start before you're ready. Launch imperfectly. Get it done. You saw we launched the podcast very imperfectly. We still working through it. But if you know it's on your heart and you know you want something, go for it. Like, you're gonna get the results. If not, you're gonna keep getting the results that you've always got. So if you want it, it's on your heart, it's in your spirit. I'm not saying being erratic and be chaotic, but if the action is in alignment with what you want for your life, you owe it to yourself to get it. You owe it to yourself to go after it. You owe it to yourself to put energy and motion towards that effort, towards that result that you want. If not, don't be surprised when you're exact same spot a year later. Es todo.
Es todo. My. Talk that talk. And so, yeah, y'all, with that, definitely. And for the record, bro, I was only asking the plans because I needed to know pool if it was going to interrupt pool time. All right. This dude making me look like I was like by the tea, but I just said,
Nah,
what's the plan?
nah.
Because I want to make sure that, me and Daniel at the pool, I got to be ready. And for the record, we brought all of our stuff with us because we sure did do some stuff. Hey,
I said, yeah. Hey, I'm not talking about doing that. I'm just saying,
I know.
and this is one of understanding like the people that are in your relationship with, like understanding who they are. Like, Ryan wants to make sure that we good, that we're making sure that they feel good. When we're in the doing the interview, that they're not feeling rushed.
Experience.
In my head, that the plan was he wants to know the plan. My plan was we gonna interview CJ. What's the plan? The plan is we gonna interview CJ. That's the statement. That's the plan. That's the
God,
result. Like
that's it.
that's where my. But
That's
Ryan
it.
wants to make sure that hey, we consider it everybody's time. We consider it of we're asking them the right questions. We're considering that this is gonna flow the way we want it to flow. That we're not doing all these things. In my head, I said the plan, the idea, and the results that we wanted in one statement. We gonna interview everybody.
That's it. Yeah. And my secondary is my grounds crew. So grounds crew is like, all right, we all about that pace. We making sure we do it. Yeah, man. Nah, and you executed well. And Danielle, all of us, salute to you.
We
Shout out to you, we, because it's a team effort. So with that, y'all, remember, as we say, as always, don't just go with us, grow with us.
grow with us.
We got
Peace.
it, y'all. Peace.